Well, I didn't see day one or two going that way in the draft.
Nah, that yeah, I don't even know what to say. But like, how? I'm like, first of all, Mel Kiper is the angriest man on earth right now. Like
He
this,
was so pissed.
this dude has just been going off every time somebody does not pick Shador. But I mean, dude, I don't understand it. I really like. I get maybe his interviews were bad or whatever you want to say, but like, I mean, you just watch the tape, dude. Like the guy can play. Like, and
Yeah, I mean,
I definitely like Dylan Gabriel. Really, Dylan Gabriel or Jackson
yeah,
Dart. Even the
yeah.
dude.
So, Cam Moore was the only first round quarterback I think in this draft, and I don't think he was number one. Should have been a number one overall pick, but he's a quarterback. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah,
Jackson Dart going to New York. I don't get it. They off potential, but then
yeah,
I mean, you start running through it. Nick Saban talks about Chuck being the most polished, best prospect that he sees in the draft. It's just his age and injury history. So
yeah,
he apparently he's got the tools. You see, Jalen Milrose got explosiveness and speed that no other player at the quarterback position in this draft can bring. But yeah, you don't see. I mean, shoot, we're a week removed from him being the projected number two pick.
yeah.
And now Shador might not have been a day one guy, but he definitely isn't a day three dude.
I don't
Just
even know where does he go now. Like, does Cleveland pick him up? Does Pittsburgh pick him up? And the thing is, what I think is happening right now is these teams that still need quarterbacks understand that they can take their time now. Like
yeah,
once he slid past, the early part of the second round, now all these teams that knew that they were going to have to pick somebody up and knew that the strength of this quarterback class wasn't what it traditionally is. Like they're like, all right, now we just take our time. Like we're gonna go in there, we're gonna pick out the D tackles or the O linemen or the edge rushers or the linebacker that we need that are not going to be around in the fourth, fifth round now, and just kind of let it because like clearly these organizations do not like this kid for whatever reason. Um,
yeah. Because that's another thing I was gonna say is like maybe his interviews were terrible, um, but like if he was graded high, a team looks over that and they
yeah,
are convinced that they can like change him, right? So, like not
yeah.
only did
Well, and it's like
he
I,
well there, but they must not have had him graded very high.
well, and I think it was Mel Kiper that was talking about it. It was like, you know, it's not like Shador's work ethic is in question. You know what I mean? Like it's not like teams have a reason to think he's going to show up and he's not going to work to improve on whatever it is that you think his shortfalls are, or that he's just going to be like, well, got my check, like cool, now I don't have to do anything anymore. They're like, his dad is one of the hardest working athletes that there ever was. Like you're not a two sport professional athlete off of just talent alone. Like that takes a ridiculous amount of work and practice and dedication. And it's evident to me anyway that he's passed it off to his kids. I mean, you don't get two kids that, play Division 1 ball and then eventually are, NFL draft prospects by them not having any work ethic. So I like
Yeah,
I
and
just I just don't understand.
that has carried in drafts recently, like Joey Porter Jr., Sertan. Like if you got a parent, Mahomes, like you've got a parent who played pro sports, like they want that kind of work ethic. They want someone who knows about it. T, what do you think, man? What do you think about the Shadur spiral?
I'm not a fan of it, and I don't know. Feels like he's being blackballed to me. He's not a fourth
Clearly, I
round.
mean,
Yeah,
no, he's not a day
he's
three
not.
guy.
He's not.
I mean,
He's not a fourth. No.
something is going like yeah, it's not talent. Like there's clearly some things, and it might just be a message of like you know. the one dude isn't going to come in here and be bigger than the organization. I mean, he's flashy and whatnot, but I mean, you kind of have to bring that. I feel like if you're going to be a top level quarterback, like not everybody presents that, but we see dudes kind of talk shit, and that's just kind of their personality. And like, if just go in the league and back it up, no one gives a shit if you're going to win games.
Yeah.
He won games in Colorado, right?
99.9% of the league is out there talking shit every second of every play of every game. Like
Micah Parsons got a job, and he's one of the loudest dudes on the internet.
He talks shit even when he's not playing. He's on his podcast talking shit.
Yeah.
Did you see his reaction? I know this is like a side note, but did you see his reaction to their first round pick? Did you see that video?
Yeah. That was a good interview that kid had. Yeah. But it was, I mean, because I think it's two things. Like, one, clearly these teams that are passing on him, that are quarterback needy, don't think he can come in there and be a starter right away. And the other piece of it is potentially they don't want to bring in a guy that potentially is going to cause a ruckus in the locker room. If that's what they think it's going to be. If he doesn't want to sit behind, like Vegas, for example, if he doesn't want to sit behind Geno for 2, 3, 4 years, they maybe don't want to bring him in and have to deal with that, year 2 or 3 when he wants a starting job. I don't know for sure, but maybe that's a calculus playing into it as well. Of like, it's just these teams don't know what he's going to bring to the locker room. I don't know.
It's ridiculous to me. I do think they're proving a point. Hey, nobody's bigger than the Shield. Prime came over, and all of a sudden Colorado is the most important team in all of college football, right? And then they were kind of trying to set the rules. However many teams Shedeur interviewed, he only interviewed with 5 teams. He didn't go to he didn't perform at the combine or whatever. I don't have a ton of beef with any of that kind of stuff, but this feels like a message from the NFL. Like, look, Prime, we get it. You're Prime, but you're not bigger than the Shield. And now this is how we're going to prove that to you. He's not getting drafted. Because I don't even see how he goes 4th, 5th, 6th round. I feel like he's not going to get drafted, period.
Unless
they
make
him Mr. Irrelevant just to, like, be funny.
That to me is crazy. Like, but again, like, I mean,
but you remember who he's dealing with.
There's 2 teams right now. There's 2 teams right now that I could legitimately see drafting him still. Cleveland and then the Rams. And the Rams take him as like their next dude after Stafford's done, because Stafford's only got, a couple of years left. And at some point he's going to retire. And
that would still be a decent market.
The Rams is the right answer.
Yeah. And I think the Rams honestly would be a great spot for him because McVay is a great coach. And that's a solid offensive system. They're built to be good for, with Puka out there, like they're going to have Puka for a while, Higbee at tight end. What's Kyron Williams in the backfield? Like, they've got a lot of good young talent, and Jared Verse shit on the defensive side too. Like, that defense obviously showed they could play toward the end of the season as well.
And Byron Young, from Tennessee, don't sleep.
Yeah. But I think that's a good landing spot for him. I don't want to see him go to Cleveland, man. I don't want to see anybody go to Cleveland.
No, they're just gonna die in Cleveland, man. It's just
oh, good Lord, what a terrible organization.
But like, so it for me, the Pittsburgh Steelers made the most sense. They're quarterback needy. Mike Tomlin is a coach that Prime respects. Like, he could walk in there. He's dealt with big time, presence on the team, like big time egos. But them not taking them and with all their picks either, it tells me that either they have a good feeling that Rodgers is the dude, and they know bringing in a quarterback will hurt his feelings, or they're holding out hope that he's the dude. Like, what they can't go into, or maybe a Kirk Cousins trait, but they can't go into the season with Mason Rudolph as their starter. I mean, that unless they're like, hey, we finally have to get a top draft pick next year to get a decent quarterback, and Mason Rudolph will get us 4 wins and a top pick in the draft. I don't know, but like, Yeah, I feel like you're giving up on the season already if you go in with Mason Rudolph as your starter. But I thought Pittsburgh made the most sense for Shadur. It was just, that's
Yeah.
a big
I'm pretty
brand.
There we go.
I'm
done.
I'm
There
disappointed
as
with
well.
Tomlin. I was hoping Tomlin would kind of like step up and like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I was
mean, they
hoping
still
Tomlin
got.
would make the call.
I completely
anyway.
forgot, dude. And that's the wild thing too to me is that kind of signals that they're still holding out hope that Aaron Rodgers is going to end up signing there, and he's dragging them along because he's. Dude, I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Even mentioning Pittsburgh,
No.
I still think the Rams are the right answer, though.
Yeah. I think
you're
because
right.
if he goes to
Amazing, great
Pittsburgh, then he
coach.
probably starts.
And you can probably keep him
Yeah.
happy with the
I'd
endorsement
like to
deals
let him
and-
learn behind a great coach.
Yeah.
And LA's a big enough market
right.
where you can like he can be spotlighted without being the guy, right? The next one kind of thing in LA. I agree. That's probably the best. I don't know what their pick situation looks like, but that tweet you sent us with talking about Brady's relationship with him, and then kind of picking with Shadur in prime, and still kind of passing on him. It's just there's something weird going on there, and who knows? It'll eventually come out. I don't know if you saw Ocho's post. He said that they're gonna he's gonna talk about the real reason on their nightcap show. I don't know when they do their show, but I'll have to tune into that to see what his opinion is, because they're going to be uncensored. If they have any idea what's going on, it's going to come out. So
yeah, dude. Hey, Booger earlier when I was watching the show, they had the top available quarterbacks up there, and it was obviously like Shadur, Will Howard, old boy from Syracuse. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Who else was up there? There's one other dude I can't remember. And Booger just looks in the camera and goes, "One of these things is not like the other." I about pissed myself. I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh man, dude.
It's I mean, the one thing you hope for the young man is that he's. I mean, I know it. The question is where does he go drafted? He's going to get drafted. He's going to get opportunity. There's no way he doesn't. But maybe this is like the probably the first time he's ever been humbled in his life, rightly or wrongly. The first time he's ever been, and he can, this is a story where you look on 3-4 years from now where you're like, yeah, the young man proved everybody wrong, but everybody looks stupid, right? I don't know if he gets that. You shook your head, T, like you don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think he's getting drafted.
That would be insane. That would be insane.
But I don't want to say that it's an impossibility either, because
no,
I didn't think there was any way in hell he was making it through the first 3 rounds, and here we are.
But like this is a hit. This is a hit on prime, and like I mean he brought in the number 1 quarterback in the recruiting class this year, and he brought Shadur in there to win games. And if he goes to the 4th round, if he goes like you're saying, potentially undrafted, I mean, what does that do for his ability to like recruit and bring in top talent and sell that his offense can get folks to the league? Yes, Travis Hunter was a number 2 overall pick, but he is truly a generational talent. You're not going to see another Travis Hunter for a decade, 2 decades, maybe.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, at the same time,
and like, even though Travis Hunter is like Deion's guy, that's not his son the way Shadur is his son.
Yeah.
Like Travis is his guy, like equals Deion, or because he's his son. Because even Shiloh doesn't represent Deion the way Shadur does. So you send the strongest message, whatever message you're trying to send, through Shadur, and then you're right. Like you cannot pass on Travis Hunter. But you send a message with Shadur because there's enough hubbub about him, enough focus, enough coverage, and all that.
Why?
So,
why? Like, why are we being spiteful? Like, for what?
It's control. Like, these are billionaires. You got to remember who you're dealing with here. These are billionaires. Prime is coming in attention, a lot of power is seeming like it's coming to him. This is how the billionaires rally together and they say,
I really wish I could have heard most of what you said.
I mean, you got to remember who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I understood. Yeah. You broke up there for a second, T. But I get what you're saying. Like they're not going to let Prime come in and flex on them. As
Yeah, for sure.
his new way of doing things. Because
but at the same time, like he's not there with him. He's still coaching college football. Like, yeah, his kid's gonna be there, but like his primary focus is not gonna be on what Shedeur. Like Shedeur is a grown man. He got Shedeur to this spot. His goal was for Shedeur to be an NFL player. And like, unless he wants to go coach at the next level, like, yeah, okay, he's always there in the background, but he's got a whole Division I football program that he has to worry about recruiting for, coaching, game plans. Like you can't sell me the fact that they think he's going to have so much influence over their little corner of the NFL that this is the backlash for it. Like that makes zero sense to me. Like, I mean, pride, I guess I could buy that, but like you want to talk about some weak-minded individuals, if that's what we're talking about. You like,
yeah. But what was said in those interviews? Like what? Like
I need to see some tape.
Yeah, no.
I need to see some tape.
Was it really that bad that they like the word got out with like some of the stuff this dude's saying is like outlandish and you don't want him on your team, like but it's hard for me. It's almost hard for me to believe because, like I said, while he's been flashy, while he's been a big personality, the 2 watches, the whole thing, he's never had any off the field issues, right? Like I can't remember anything that like
Nope.
Shedeur was in some sort of like bad situation or was in the news for being a bad guy out off the field. So I don't. It's tough, man. It's tough for me to believe that he just walks in there and says some shit that you're like, oh, can't have this guy on your team because he just, he ultimately seems like just a confident, borderline, walking the line on cocky kind of guy. Which what good NFL player isn't? Like
you got to have that self-confidence. Like you have to. Some people just express it in different ways, but every dude that walks out there thinks that they're the best one at their position. Like you have to have that mindset to succeed. Because if you're out there thinking the next guy's better than you, like, what are we really doing here? Or if you think that, like, I don't know, man. I just it's mind-boggling.
I don't know.
It's mind-boggling.
But who had the number 2 QB off the board being Tyler Shuck?
Not even me. Not even me.
Goodness.
I mean, I thought honestly, third, fourth round is where
did
I
he
thought
go
he was
before?
gonna go.
No, Jackson Dart went second. I thought.
Oh, yeah, he was third off the board.
I thought Jackson Dart went second.
He did.
But he did. But I mean, I thought early third, no worse than fourth round is where I kind of saw him falling out, just based off of the strength of the QB class, not being what it usually is, and the amount of defensive talent that was in this draft. But I mean, dude, yeah, every time my reaction to that was the same as when Jackson Dart got picked. I thought for sure when the Giants traded up, I was like, oh, there goes Shedeur. Like they traded up to get him. And then I thought for sure when New Orleans pick came around, it was going to be Shedeur this time around. And when they said Tyler Shupp, I was like, I mean, good for him, man. And then big praise, obviously, from the old ball coach and Nick Saban.
Nick liked it, dude, for sure. He had great things to say.
Dude, he's a good – he is a polished player. It's just there's not a lot of tape on him because he's been hurt. Like he had just absolute terrible luck with injuries.
I saw all the tape I needed when he dotted us out. It's just like it's like enough. I mean, Maxwell Harrison, who is a number 1 draft pick, the Shuck and Bell show just made Max look like, now he was playing through injury, but I mean, they didn't shy away from that matchup at all. that was we'll see how he does. But he's
Yeah.
going to a good situation. I think um,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with the question marks around Derek Carr, like I mean, I just who knows what his health is actually like because it doesn't seem like anybody knows. And I
well,
mean,
they
it's
haven't said
like
how he got hurt. Like it just came out of nowhere.
yeah, it's just like his shoulders jacked up.
Yeah,
So
he must have been doing something silly in the off season.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're definitely they don't usually play it that close to the vest if it was something that was like training related.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
T's
Yeah,
deep in his thoughts right now.
yeah, I agree with you. See what KB said over here? Yeah, man. We were just talking about that. A couple QBs that shouldn't have gone before him. Yeah, man. I mean, I really you can make an argument for Cam Ward, and all the stuff he did at Miami, but I I did really the one that honestly like Shuff surprised me. Jackson Dart going as early as he did surprised the hell out of me because I don't know. Have you seen the highlight or the reel of him when Gruden had him on there on the Barstool podcast and he was like, all right, stand
No.
up, he was like, stand up, give me your snap count. Jackson Dart stands up and he goes like this. And he's like, no, I want to hear your snap count. And he's like, oh, you want to hear it again? And he goes, he's like, you got a dummy count or anything? He's like, oh yeah, we call it purple. And you're like, brother, what? Like,
I can picture Gruden just turning like bright red too. Like, well, what is the fuck is going on?
Gruden goes, I think I could do that. And he was like, why don't you do it? He's like, I'm not doing that shit.
They did say that he interviewed well. Like that was what I mean. The Giants had like 13 different meetings with him or something like that. So I don't know. They I saw people on the internet and ESPN and whatnot talk about him compare like big body and big arm and um, comparing him to Josh Allen. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like what yeah, Josh Allen was unpolished out of Wyoming, similar to Jackson Dart was, but like Josh Allen was like is 6'5" and a massive human being with a cannon of an arm who like
Twice
that's
the
that's
athlete.
yeah,
Twice
and
the
like
athlete.
Jackson Dart can move and whatnot, but I honestly, you got Russell Wilson, he's probably the starter. I don't know, maybe if he sits behind him and he's not thrown into it like Daniel Jones was, but I don't see how there's a different outcome for Jackson Dart than there was for Daniel Jones. Like a good athlete who can throw the ball kind of well, but doesn't really figure out how to play in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. T's been over here shaking his head the entire time.
He's not happy. Oh, is he? He might be frozen.
Just got the glint coming off of his dome right there. That's a
He
good
spent
freeze
too much.
frame.
Yeah, he spent too much of the Wi-Fi playing Call of Duty.
Look, now he's going in slow motion.
But yeah, and well, I mean, they were oh, there he goes. He'll come back on. But these comparisons, like you saw the comparison they had night one for Cam Ward, who they lined him
No.
up next to
Nah.
Patrick Mahomes. I shit you not. 1-on-1 showing different. I'm like, what? Like, come, like, I just don't.
Why do
I
we
don't
do
understand.
this? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't
I mean,
know.
they have to because it's like they're trying to spark attention and get clicks or whatever on their Instagram reels that they put up. But like, bro,
But that's ESPN. ESPN.
I
is
know
talking about
that's
it.
what I'm
Like,
that's what I'm saying though. But
it-
I don't get that. I don't get that comparison at all. I really don't. Cam Ward's
I mean,
Ward's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but
you think he does well in the league? I question it.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't even know can you name a receiver on Tennessee's roster right now?
Is it? Do they have Traylon Burke still?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Um,
Yeah,
there he is.
I truly don't. I truly don't know. I have to look up. I'm about to look their roster up right now because I don't even know who their number one wideout is. So I don't think that system is set up for him to be success. Calvin Ridley. Okay.
Kevin Ridley. Where's Kevin
All
Ridley?
right.
at
All
right
right. Yeah. But
now? Okay, yeah. I forgot about Calvin Ridley but he didn't do much last year. Well, of course, he had Will Levis throwing to him. So,
yeah, that is true.
hey, I tweeted that out. That's the true that's the test right there. There is no way the Will Levis, in my mind, the Will Levis fall should have been less than the Shedeur Sanders fall. Like, I mean, this man got drafted in the first pick of the second round, and we're still waiting. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But we
But
talked
that just proves the point though. Like same with Kenny Pickett going in
Yeah.
the first round. Like Desmond Ritter a
Yeah,
couple years
brother.
ago. Like whenever he got
I
picked,
didn't understand that pick neither. Neither one of those picks. Desmond Ritter has been a head case forever. Like that was just that was ridiculous.
my Cardinals traded for him, which was insane. And I went to a preseason practice this past season while he was still on the team. Even in practice, he looked terrible, man. So but that's the whole point. Like, and teams try to take flyers, right? So you're taking a significantly less flyer or a significantly less um, dangerous flyer on Shador than on people like Kenny Pickett or Desmond Ritter or even Will Levis, Daniel Jones, like even Drake May.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, exactly. And Jalen Milroe, like there's
Oh,
no
dude.
world. There's no world where you draft him before Shador.
Yeah.
Like
that is definitely a flyer to me because they were talking. The ESPN was talking about, oh well, if he can get his passing more polished, like he's going to be the best quarterback to come out of this draft. And I'm like, all right, come on now, like what? The kid's got outrageous athletic talent, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not a great quarterback. He's a great football player.
Yes.
Not a great quarterback.
So I ask you, do you really think Shadeur is a great quarterback? Honestly, like because
I don't know
the offense
I don't know
that
if
they
I think he's
ran
great, but I
doesn't
think
really
he's
prove
good.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I think he's great, but he's good, and he's definitely better than some of these dudes that have been drafted.
Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree with that at all. But it's like, did you see that there's 55% of his throws were either at or were 5 yards or less from the line of scrimmage. So that's what they're talking about. It's like there's really not enough tape to show that he can put the ball where he needs to. He can play on schedule when most things were downfield. He held the ball for too long, or he got sacked, or his offensive line was absolutely trash last year. So even if he could try to develop something down the field, he didn't have the time. So
I'm still not hearing that because Zach Wilson got drafted number 2 overall off of one pass that he threw in shorts and a t-shirt. Like,
you're not wrong. I mean, yeah, you're not.
Like,
yeah,
these dudes,
yeah.
these teams will make an excuse to draft somebody if they want to, and so at this point,
Right.
they're doing the opposite and just trying to find some kind of excuse to not draft. Like the dude played 2 years at Jackson State and 2 years at Colorado. You do have enough tape. Like there's enough tape. So yeah, I don't think he's great,
and
but
they're
going to
say
he's good, and he should have been drafted already.
Yeah, they're going to say that enough tape proves that he's not day 1 or day 2 worthy, and I think that's where someone's got to call bullshit on him because there's something else going on behind in the background.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see, man, because I just can't fathom him going undrafted. I can't. I just can't make that make sense in my brain. And I think wherever he ends up, I think he will be good enough that a lot of these teams that passed on him will be like, damn, maybe we jacked that one up. But I mean, only time will tell at this point, honestly. So it's pretty wild.
I hope so. I'm rooting for him.
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, at this point, you're
You got to.
kind of a shitty human if you're not rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's going through all this stuff and like, but honestly, T, you said something last night in our group chat. Like they knew this was. I don't know if they knew that third day was a possibility, but they knew that day one, first round was a possibility.
Yeah.
When they had their own draft party, because like you mentioned, Travis Hunter is Prime's guy. So like if he could have been there with Travis Hunter and Shedeur in the green room, whatever they call it nowadays, like he would have been there. So that there was a sense that, hey, potentially we're going to fall here. We don't want to be Will Levis where we're sitting there in the room and like all they do is pan to us sweating because we're not getting drafted. So there was a thought.
Oh, and the cameras would have been on him heavy too.
They
would have been on him heavy.
Second. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Him and Prime, it would have been that would have been the entire show. So it was probably a good move that they didn't do that. He was able to kind of post his own video and do his own thing. But yeah, man, it's wild. But what do you think about your team's pick so far? The Arizona and the Ravens for T is Arizona, AB's the Ravens. What y'all think?
T, what you got? You go ahead.
So last time we picked a defensive tackle from Ole Miss in the first round, he was.
Uh-oh.
Can't hear you, T.
That has no bearing on this, but it's got me a little nervous. What I find interesting.
Say what you said. You broke up.
Coming from
what was the D
my
tackle?
cousin pointed this out. All these draft picks coming from Ole Miss, like they were just some deep into playoff type team. Like these dudes weren't doing anything, but he can play. So I have a lot of hope. And then, like I was texting y'all, I wanted us to get that corner from Michigan, who we ended up getting. So I'm pretty happy about that. I asked Bea, because he's with the Raiders. I'm like, hey, why is he falling? And he said teams have some concerns about speed and some knee injury stuff. From what I saw at Michigan, I don't see any speed concerns. Injury concerns are fair. And then honestly, I've been watching basketball besides those two, so I don't know who else we got, but I'm real happy with Johnson. I think his name is Will Johnson from Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful for the guy that we got from Ole Miss. But it's also the Cardinals, so I expect us to stink regardless. So there's that too.
Dolphins fans, we already know we're going to stink. There's zero expectation. There's no hope.
Yeah, Brad. I mean, as far as we go, man.
All kind of issues.
I think we're doing pretty well. Yeah, we can hear you, T. I just don't think you can hear us.
Okay,
but,
I'm sorry. My headphones connected to the computer. I can hear you now.
But yeah, we heard you though. Dude, Malachi Starks. That was the one that.
Dude,
that
what
was
a pickup, man!
Dude, I'm telling you, him and Kyle
that
Hamilton.
dude's a beast, man.
Him and Kyle Hamilton in the back end of that secondary, like that's huge. And then Green out of Marshall, dude led the FBS in sacks last year. I'm not real sure. I think Kuiper had him like 18th on his big board. So him following us in the second round as late as he did, like that is a big pickup. And that was something we really needed. We needed an edge rusher to go along with the linebackers and the secondary. And then I don't really know a lot about the tackle that we took in the third round out of LSU, but I mean, it seems like kind of solid pickup there. And that was one of the, right tackle is one of the spots that we needed a lineman at. So I'll take it. as always, I'll harp on this to the day I die. Like I love Zay Flowers. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's a true number one wideout. I also don't know that there was really somebody that you could go after in this draft. I think really honestly, the amount of defensive players that have been selected kind of shows you how comparatively weak the offensive side of the ball is in this draft compared to like other years. But dude, I'm happy with it. I mean, especially with the two picks we got in the first and the second round on the defensive side of the ball. Like, you know, we played obviously very well defensively for the second half of the season. So I think that just complements what we already got. So I'm happy this far. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't really know what other needs we can really address at this point. Maybe another corner is what I'd be looking for in the fourth round. My boy Quincy Riley's still out there, so that would be a huge pickup if he falls that far in the fourth round, which I really wasn't expecting. But I mean, you know, that's what happens when you get hurt and then don't really have the numbers that you put up. You know, he took a risk coming back this year to play another year. I think he probably would have been a first or second round guy had he gone after his junior season, but I think he's going to be a steal for whoever gets him this late in the draft. So yeah, I'm happy thus far. Who have y'all even drafted, Kyle? I don't even know.
So the Dolphins got Kenneth Grant, D tackle from Michigan, which we lost CW last year. We needed some depth on the D line. I think it's probably a good pickup. It wasn't what I was.
Where did Christian Wilkins? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Raiders right now. He's with the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Max Crosby teamed up. Yeah, we lost him. And like Sealer has been doing well, but he's kind of by himself. Jalen Phillips is when he's on the field is great, but he just stays hurt, unfortunately. And then we went O-line on the in the second round. So I don't know, like our cap situation is so jacked up where like we're gonna have to trade some picks. I don't even think we can afford to like pay all the picks that we could pick up plus the contracts we have now. Jalen Ramsey still apparently. I was hoping we were gonna go corner early so that we could, you know, potentially try to get away from Jalen Ramsey as he's on the back slope of his career. Get out of that crazy contract. We just paid him last year again. But I mean, honestly, I'm at the point now where it's not the popular opinion, but you got trade Reek, trade Ramsey. You know, I really wanted Daggum. What was the wide receiver that went to Tampa and BK?
From Ohio State.
Yeah. Gosh dang it! Why can't I remember his name? Emeka something.
Ebuka. I think
Yeah, Emeka Ebuka.
Yeah, like he's been playing behind you know, Marvin Harrison Jr. and all these guys, but I think he's super talented. You know, and you can go get somebody else, or you know, kid from Texas that Green Bay ended up getting. But we'll see. It doesn't matter though, as long as Greer is the GM, as long as McDaniel is the coach, and as long as Tua is our quarterback, we're gonna suck. So we're gonna hang out until those three leave, and then we'll probably do what the Dolphins do and continue to suck. So you know, whatever.
Just like my Cardinals.
Yeah, unless this guy over my shoulder comes back, Dan the Man Marino, we're probably gonna be trash.
Bro, I think McDaniel's on the hot seat this year.
He needs to be.
I think he's on the hot seat.
That like players coach. I'm aware capris and off-white Nikes and, you know, be the cool guy. That shit is okay when you're winning ball games, but when you're not, and you have the one season where the Bills start off like absolute shit, you have like a 4-game lead on them, and you still don't win the division and have to travel to Kansas City, and Tua's got to play in like negative 20-degree weather, and you lose in the playoffs. Like, okay, we're tired with the cool guy shit. We want somebody to come in there, and that's why I was you fire McDaniel and you go get Harbaugh and you bring that like hard-nosed coach in there, course, it didn't happen. But I was ready to ditch his ass last year.
Yeah, I think y'all have just been backpedaling, like year after year, just backpedaling as far as results go. And I mean, obviously, like, you know, you say what you want about Tua and the injury stuff. Like, obviously, that plays a large factor in it. But I mean, even when he's been on the field, like, it just not significant improvement, no improvement. Like,
No.
so
Nick Saban did have a great line today. He was when they draft the O-lineman in the second round. He said, "Yeah, it makes sense because when Tua is on the field, they can win games. When he's not, they lose games. So how about we protect him?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's a good,
probably a good idea. Probably a good idea."
But even then, I never thought Tua was like the guy. He will drop a bunch of stats. He will put up a bunch of yards because he's got Tyreek and whatnot. But when it comes to a dude who can win you a ball game, that's not him consistently.
No.
But now that Ray Davis is running the rock for the Bills and Max is on, I might just go ahead and do the thing and be a Bills fan. I might just go ahead and
you can't go in divisions. You can't do that.
I told that to Jackson. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have to be Bills fans now." He looked at me and goes, "What?" And I was like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but like maybe not."
He was very not happy about the Ravens getting Malachi at all.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He was. I did tell him. I said, "Hey, Aunt Tyler got a jersey for it when he's ready." He said, will not." I was like, all right.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but he, he might eventually get tired of losing and jump ship. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've told Mason he's free to pick whatever NFL team he wants. I can't.
I'll be a partial Bills fan.
I can't put the Cardinals on him. I was like, he doesn't have a choice with Tennessee, but choose who you want with the NFL.
Yeah, that's like Jay. He didn't have a choice about Kentucky basketball, but we had to compromise with the Georgia football just because of the roots for the Lindsay side of the family. But
yeah.
Well, what about let's wrap this thing up with talking with college basketball. I sent you I sent both of y'all the thing from Jordan Gainey. What are you hearing about this 5th year loading thing that he's talking about? Are they going to approve this thing, or have you heard anything, or no?
Haven't heard anything, and it's like I told y'all, until it happens, I'm not going to buy into anything.
There's been a lot of smoke behind it. Even pre NCAA tournament, there was talks about it, but it really died in February. Like I've seen no articles since then about it.
Yeah, the kid who's a kid from Clemson. He entered the transfer portal with 0 eligibility left. So I feel these dudes.
There's been a lot of them. There's been like
a dozen
kids.
We had one do it too. Darlingston Dunbar did it from Tennessee as well. Yeah. No eligibility left, but hit the transfer portal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I'd love to have Gainey back, but until that happens, I'm not counting on it happening.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Who knows? I think if Chad Baker Mazara can play 12 years in Division I, then maybe we can let some of these guys have a 5th year eligibility. So I don't know. It's the NCAA is a crazy place right now, especially basketball. Like it doesn't seem like there's as much drama with all this stuff in football, but in basketball, it's nuts, dude. You just can't throw a stick without somebody trying to get an extra year of eligibility or hitting the transfer portal or whatever, man. It's wild. We got Cason Pryor back. Finally, he finally said he was coming back.
But you lose Scott,
brother. I don't know what the market's going to be for him, to be honest. I saw some rumors. I forget the names. I guess there were a couple of late entrants to the transfer portal big men that apparently Pat Kelsey has set up some interviews and some visits with that I guess maybe he's feeling threatened or whatever. But I'm like, dude, you started 31 of the 35 games, brother. Like, I think if you're coming back, you're going to play.
Yeah.
And I just don't know, it's like that stat that we were talking about the other day where like something crazy, like 75% of the dudes that enter the transfer portal don't find a new home at any level or transfer down rather, excuse me. They either don't find a home at the Division I level or they have to transfer down to like D2 or wherever they're going. So part of me kind of hopes that, he's just kind of testing the waters and that he'll be back. But who knows, man? It's transfer portal.
I think there is a lot of that going on right now. I think there's a lot of business decisions being made of like, I'm going to put myself in the portal just to see what's out there.
Yeah.
Because we potentially lost Travis Perry. He entered the portal, and he Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. Wasn't expected to get a lot of playing time this year. He was going to be he got forced into the lineup this year with injuries and whatnot, but didn't expect him to hit the portal. He ended up going to the portal. And there's Ole Miss apparently is going after him heavy. There's like Western Kentucky is hitting him. There's some other smaller schools, but there are some big schools that are supposed. Arkansas, Tennessee, both of them were listed as had made contact with him, which is kind of surprising for those two teams. But I do think there's a lot of
needs a shooter. Tennessee needs a shooter, man.
That's what he can do. I mean, if he can play the 2 guard, he's just not like. I mean, we'll talk about this next, but what is that?
It's just water. It's just water. Spring water.
Oh, this is a fancy
40 spring water.
Yeah, I mean, he's a natural 2 guard who can get buckets. I mean, he's got the all-time record for points in Kentucky. So, but he's just not. He's not fit. Like he's not the physical type that you're used to, or that Rick Barnes is used to. That would go get. But he's in the portal. But I do think there's some business decisions that are like, all right, let me see what my value is right now, because if entering the portal this late doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because a lot of the teams are solidified. Teams went out and got players early, so there's not a lot of money left. There's not a lot of roster space left. We'll see how that goes. But to close out that point, there has been a lot of players that people have been clowning because they don't have any eligibility left. But if they're entering the portal, they're doing it because they're hearing some nonsense with like, hey, let's get in the portal now because potentially you're going to get that extra year and you can decide where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's just, like you're saying, it's so late in the game now, and so many people have already filled the needs of their teams with the early on transfer portal stuff that I just don't. Yeah, I don't see where a lot of these guys end up landing, at least at the Division I level. And I mean, I think it's really unfortunate. It's an unfortunate part of the transfer portal. But at the same time, I think the transfer portal is kind of giving a lot of these guys false hope that like, hey, somebody out there needs someone like me. Whereas like you were a good fit for your team, and you were a good fit for that system, but that does not mean that your skill set translates well to another team and their needs. So, yeah. But it's a risky take.
It's the Nico situation, right? It just. Hey, I'm being told that I'm worth this much money, or I see that somebody else made this much money, and I think I should go get that, right? So it's like these, it seems like your big names are represented by actual agents, and then but the majority are represented by Uncle John. It's like who's like, hey man, you got to go chase your money. Like you need to get out.
Hey there, boy.
Paid. Yeah, it's like they don't actually know what the landscape is. So it's not fair to the individual. And then they get in the portal and they realize, holy shit, like I'm not. My value isn't what I thought it was. But
you watching the Lakers game right now?
Yeah. I'm watching the game. Yeah. That was a travel. Good grief, man. And the Edwards took 14 steps getting to the basket. We'll see kind of how that pans out. I was looking at the roster that we had last year. I was hoping, I was like, man, if they do a 5th year and we can get Lamont Butler back, like we are dangerous with the current squad we have now. But he's already got 5 years, so he's out.
Yeah.
His Kentucky year was his 5th year. But yeah, I agree. You get Jordan Gainey back as like, and you give him the keys. I think that's dangerous. I really do. I've been a Jordan Gainey fan as much as I can be with him wearing the Tennessee jersey. But speaking about wearing Tennessee jerseys, what we didn't expect a couple weeks ago, Nate Ament says L's down and goes to Tennessee.
Man, don't act like he didn't turn your school down too.
We didn't go after Nate Ament. We don't even go after. He listed Kentucky to raise that price. This was not a Caleb Wilson situation. Now I will say, I said it on a couple shows ago, I am very surprised that Rick Barnes decided he wanted a nice shot, LeBron. But I am surprised that Rick Barnes went and paid this man $3 to $4 million is what being alleged, because he is, I don't know. You look at him and you watch him play, he doesn't fit the Rick Barnes system. But you've had some time to watch him. Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah. So I trust Rick Barnes to grab somebody that he thinks fits, but I'm kind of with you right now. I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but the little bit that I've watched, I don't see like a crazy motor, which is usually what you need to be a Rick Barnes guy, but he's got a ton of skill. And he's really slight, like you said, but they have one of the most renowned, their physical trainer guy. He puts 10, 15 pounds on everybody. I don't know if you like every game almost, it feels like they show before and after pictures of all the guys like shirtless, and every one of them puts on a bunch of muscle. So I think they have some confidence that they'll be able to pack a couple pounds on him and all that. I'm gonna have to watch some more of his film, but like his skill, I don't know. I guess Rick Barnes is feeling like Gillespie can kind of get him going the way that he needs to, and Rick Barnes has probably had some conversations with him. There's no way he hasn't, where he's like, "Look, we'll pay you, but if you come here, you got to do something." So it's a huge signing. I think he's the highest rated signing that we've ever had. Over,
I was about to ask you, how do you feel? How do you feel about
Kennedy Chandler? I think.
How do you feel about having a one and done talent? Like, hey, you're getting him for a year potentially, because like the expectation he's going to be a top draft pick, and if for some reason Tennessee can't make him that, he's probably going to transfer in the landscape. Golly, Anthony Edwards is a dog, man.
Yeah,
it's not new. It's not new at Tennessee anymore, because we had it. We had it with Tobias Harris. We had it with Jarnell Stokes. We had it with Jarnell Stokes. I think we only had him for one semester. But then in recent history, we had it with Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer, and then Kennedy Chandler. So, I mean, I think I said it on the show, but I think Rick Barnes has been doing a pretty good job of adapting to the changing landscape. You know, he gets the guys that will stay in the program like Vescovi and Josiah Jordan-James, but then he also gets the high talent who will be the one and done. So I think he's doing a good job of kind of working and building the program in parallel lanes, both with your program guys and then your high talent, super high ceiling guys. So I think this seems to be kind of a strange year because our roster is like next to nothing in terms of bodies. But yeah, so I think that's kind of probably what he's trying to do here. You get your high ceiling talent with Nate Ament and then Gillespie, but then you got like Bishop Boswell and Cade Phillips and Felix Akpara, kind of like this is the UT program type guys. So I'm excited about it though. I'm gonna check them out some more. But I trust Rick Barnes to get the guys that are going to fit for him.
LeBron's sick right now. This man damn near dropped 40, and Luka took a night off.
Well, Luka's sick.
Yo, Luka
So,
looks sick.
Yeah. He is. Now here's the thing. If you go out on the court, you're not sick, right?
Brother.
Like you
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
the court, it doesn't matter. But yeah,
Reference
Luka's sick.
MJ flu game.
Yep.
Like, yeah, bro.
Well, just think about when you're in college, right? Like, and you played catcher, so if you got a batter from the opposing team that y'all know got, he's got whatever, you're not gonna tell the pitcher to take it light. You're gonna go right at whatever the
Yeah,
injury
Oh,
is.
for
Like,
sure. Yeah, I'm
so
picking on you all day.
yeah. So if you put yourself out there, you are going to be come at like you're 100%. So
Jaden McDaniels
Oh.
got dropped 32. That's wild. Whew.
Here comes Bronny. They have thrown the white towel in. Bronny is coming in the game.
Oh, yeah.
so, but
Bless you.
really thank you. The big game is the next one, right? Like, is LA
Yeah.
able to steal one in Minnesota and reclaim home court advantage? So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, they don't though. They gotta steal one and then win. Then they get it back. They gotta win 2 in a row to get home court back.
This is a good point.
No,
Imagine
no.
17, 8, and 7 is your sick game.
17-8. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
It's still
you're right.
pretty-
You're not
still pretty
wrong.
impressive.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's
saying
Luka,
yeah, you're not out there. You're not looking for Luka to have a LeBron type stat line. You want Luka out there to drop 30 points while LeBron has that stat line. Like,
correct. It's not that he like 17, 8, and 7 is just like terrible.
yeah.
But they're not going to be able to win
Nah.
with him giving you 17, 8, and 7.
It was the same as it was with AD. It was like if AD and LeBron were both putting up 30 a night, that was a guaranteed dub. But then you got LeBron putting up 40, and AD has that stat line right there, which he wasn't that great of a passer, still isn't. You're not winning those games. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But
Hey, at least
This
Dalton
dude,
Knecht got in the game.
hey, Minnesota's a
and he went 0
problem,
for
though,
1.
dude.
And he got a
Yeah,
shot
he
up.
sure did. Minnesota is a problem. Anthony Edwards is, man.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
told you. I think he's the closest thing we've seen to Jordan MJ in maybe since
that
maybe since they
mentality,
played.
the mentality, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He just does not care, and he can shoot, man. God dang, can that dude shoot? And you put that on top of his athletic ability. I mean, shoo, yeah. Luka looks like shit, man, walking off the court.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham don't touch the court.
Nah,
It's crazy.
Which
Yeah.
both of those dudes can play, and but that's just how. Yeah, Minnesota's they are definitely a problem. I agree. DiVincenzo was a great pickup. Julius Randle, he finally found his footing. Everybody was kind of the sky is falling early in the season. Like, the dude just got to the team. So, and we all know Julius Randle can play. So
Yeah.
they look good, man. They look
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah, the Minnesota and OKC are the two teams in the West that I'm pulling for. Hey, my Magic aren't going to get swept. They got to win today.
they got a dub today. Yeah, they were down
That's
late too, weren't they?
They'll get the gentleman sweep. They'll probably that's probably the last game they win. But
That's all right. Didn't get skunked.
Yep, that's right. But we'll see how they do in the draft to kind of rebuild, because that young team can be good, but it's going to be tough to catch the Cavs and Boston. But
So what do they need? Is it a big man? Because Jonathan Isaac, he couldn't stay healthy, right? And now he's kind of beyond his prime, probably. But you got your 3 and 4 with Franz and Paolo. You got a great defender in Jalen Suggs and somebody who can run the point with Cole Anthony.
The problem is Suggs and Anthony can't stay healthy. But what they need is, when Orlando was good, they had all the things that you just mentioned. But they had a Hito, where they had a Rashard Lewis, who was a knockdown 3-point shooter. Like,
I love Rashard Lewis.
He was so good. Like, that dude was ahead of his time when it comes to like that 3-and-D mentality. So who's going to be out there in the late second round? Who's a knockdown shooter? Kobe Bryant. Go get him,
I
Orlando.
don't
Go get
late.
him.
You think late second round for Kobe?
Yeah, I think he's projected at 44 right now, 44, 45.
Yeah. Oh man, that dude.
So is that what Gary they were hoping Gary Harris would be, and he's just not quite.
Yeah,
that.
I don't think. Yeah, he just not. He's unfortunately not like that. But I love the coach,
Kobe
Kobe
Bryant
Bryant
to
to
the
the
Magic.
Magic. Yeah, here we go. I like it. But yeah, let's
Or
see.
Chaz Lanier, if you want to knock down shooter, get you a Chaz Lanier.
I just, man, I already have to cheer for a Dookie on the team. I don't know if I can cheer for a Dookie and a ball, man.
And a ball.
Hey, once
And-
they're on the team, they're a Magic.
Yeah.
I guess and Cole Anthony, the Tar Heel, like, oh my goodness. But
because that's how I was with Calvin Ridley. I loved Calvin Ridley. I just hated that he played for Bama.
yeah.
But once he got in the league, I was like, all right, I can rock with him now because he don't have a Bama jersey on anymore.
I remember when Daniel Orton got drafted by Orlando coming off the 2012 championship team. And I was stoked because we had a Kentucky guy on there. He didn't play a single damn minute, and he was terrible. But I was like, "Hey, we got a cat on the Magic."
That's me with DK. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I try to catch all the LeBron games, and I always want to see Dalton get some clout.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got AB. I mean, when it comes to Louisville players, you got one that potentially go get a ring this year.
Man, I hope, dude. Donovan Mitchell is that dude.
He's special, man.
He is I remember when he went into the draft, and I was on the Rick Pitino side of like, man, I think that was just a year too early. And then he just instantly shut me the hell up, and he's been doing it ever since. Like golly, dude, that guy is ridiculous. I was watching the game the other night, and I mean, just every time they needed a big shot, just give it to Donovan. He's got you.
You know who I didn't know about until Butler left, and I started paying attention because Tyler Hero became like the guy for Miami, is Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, when he was at Baylor, man, he was locking down everything.
But when he got to the league, I just didn't like pay attention. But now he's a bucket. Like that dude is deadly, man.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's been all NBA progression because even at Baylor, I mean, he might get you 11 to 14, but even at Baylor, his job was to lock down the other guy. And then just his time with the Kings, and then now, Miami. I didn't know he was down in Miami until a couple games ago. But yeah, I've always liked Davion Mitchell.
He was big for them at the end of the year when they were making their push, and he played well in the playing games too.
He can hoop.
Yeah, he can definitely hoop. He's a problem for sure. But I just do it. Just, I don't know. You see. Why can't I think of it? Darius Garland and Tyler Hero going back and forth.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Tyler Hero, man.
Oh man, why not?
What's wrong with Tyler Hero, man?
What's wrong with Tyler Hero?
I can't stand him, dog. Well, one, he played in Kentucky, so I mean, that enough said there. Yeah. I don't like that. I won't deny that he can play ball, like he can hoop for sure, but I don't like Tyler Hero.
Him and
since
Chet
they gave him
the
the
same
keys.
person.
I like Chet though. That's what
I don't like Chet, dog. Chet gets on my damn nerves. Man, Chet gets on my nerves. Them damn spindle legs that he's got. He has got to be the most just outrageously skinny basketball player I've ever seen in my life.
Him and Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby. Yeah, okay, all right, you got me there. Wemby might be skinnier.
They're both, but it's like it's wild. Like
I'm like, I don't even know how you stay put together when people like when you take contact going through the lane. Like, how do you not just break? Like,
that's how KD was when he first got to the league out of Texas.
He wasn't that damn skinny.
Yes, he was.
Nah,
yes,
I'm gonna need some photo evidence of that because Chet's ankles look like he looks like a toddler out there. Like, not even a toddler. My toddlers are fat. He looks like a 5-year-old that's grown out of his baby body that just never became an adult. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Quinn got bigger legs than him.
Yeah. Well, hey, to wrap up the portal stuff, I think. Did you see that Kentucky got Denzel Aberdeen from Florida?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's a
he
big.
didn't put
That's a
up.
big pickup.
He's not a big. Yeah, I agree, man. He wasn't a big box score guy, but I remember he stood out to me in the national championship game because they were down and Clayton was on the bench and he came in and gave him a spark and was able to get to the rim. He only had like
Yeah.
7 in the game, but they were in that second half to kind of to end the run.
Timely. It's timely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And championship team. Apparently, he was supposed to be the starter. Or he was thought to be the starter, kind of be the heir apparent point guard or combo guard in Florida. With Walter Clayton leaving, Florida went and got this league kid from Princeton, and he was questioning his minutes. So Kentucky comes in and $2-ish million. They gonna give him, but allegedly. I think it's a great pickup. Like I think it does. I think it does two things for Kentucky. One, it shores up that guard spot. He can play the point. I don't know if Lowe from Pitt is ready to start. Maybe he is. But if for some reason Otega Oweh stays in the draft because he starts shooting up draft boards, we have a dude who can kind of fill that role. Like not a great 3-point shooter, can make it. Not consistently, but can break a guy down, super athletic, can get to the rim, bigger body type guard. Now, if we get both of them, we're going to be all right. But until I get see that return message from Oweh, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about him and him in the draft.
He's pretty far down there in the projections, though, man.
Is.
Like I think
77 was the last.
Yeah.
I think when I do think, I don't know if it'll get him. He says he doesn't want to stay in the draft unless he's a solidified, guaranteed first round pick.
He's not.
So I don't think he gets up that high. I do believe you're correct. I think though that when he starts playing and when he starts doing workouts in front of teams, he's going to go up. Now, does he go up and he's a mid second round pick and someone gives him a guarantee and he changes his mind? That's what I'm nervous about. It's like, hey, we're going to give you a guaranteed 2-way contract. You do some time in the G League, blah, blah, blah. Here's some money. And he's like, all right, I'm going to take my shot. I don't think it'll happen. I hope it doesn't happen. But it does make me nervous.
77 can change real fast. I mean, you're not wrong, KB.
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah. I just don't. If he's saying that he truly wants to be a solidified first round pick, like I don't see him going from 77th to that. With another year under his belt at Kentucky, where he's going to continue to be, especially with Butler gone, like he is going to be a focal point of that team, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, because we all know how well he can defend. I think with another year, I think he is a person that I could see with another year definitely being a solid first round draft pick. Next year's draft.
Yeah, because if he comes back, he's probably automatically all SEC, preseason all SEC, right? Just based off
for sure.
His name. So like
for sure,
the hype is going to be there. He just has to kind of live up to it.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes, man. We're not too far. We're wrapping up basketball portal season. The football portal season is jumping up already, and it's the whole thing is wild. Harley Gilmore goes to Nebraska in the fall, comes back to Kentucky in the spring. Like this whole thing is jacked up.
Yeah.
They got to figure it out. Yeah, they got to figure it out. I'm surprised we let them back, man. It was supposed to be a cleanse. Like Kentucky's supposed to get rid of all these guys that were quote unquote a locker room problem. He comes back. Who knows, man? Mark Stoops is I don't know.
Ass.
Well,
terrible. Best coaching staff in the SEC, baby.
Let's prove us wrong. Let's prove them wrong, Stoops. Let's gotta get this done.
Okay.
But I don't know. If we win 5-6 games this year, we're probably
motivated.
Okay,
you can be motivated all you want there, KB.
Yeah, that's the joke around Big Blue Nation is there's nothing more dangerous than a motivated Mark Stoops. You know.
They're making fun of that down in Knoxville too. When I
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to the sports animal, they talk about that
Only thing that
because all
motivates
they talk about now is like how many wins are we gonna get and yada yada yada, and so then they'll
Yeah.
go down the schedule and they'll be like, well, I think we're gonna beat a motivated UK. So
Yeah.
only thing that motivates that man is a 30 rack of Miller and some fucking donuts. That's about it.
Hey, he be tearing some heaters too, man. Give him a Marlboro Red. He's happy.
Just ripping the darts. Oh man.
Yeah.
Straight John Daly 2.0 out there.
That's right. Yep. Oh man. But boys, it was good talking to you. We'll jump on this next week. I'm gonna try to get some folks on the show to carry the off season because you can see that the news is kind of dying down here. But we'll have some NBA playoffs to carry us. We'll see where Shedeur finally goes in the draft. I do think he gets drafted. Who knows where? But and then hey, before you know it, we're gonna have TBT. I know Kentucky and Louisville got a team. Tennessee, I don't know. Terrence, you hearing about a TBT team? Alumni team?
I don't remember this last TBT if we had one, but I remember we had one 2 years ago. All names, the people that I remember, and then we promptly got bounced in the first round. So we'll have to see. I'll have to look at the squads and see if we get like Tyler. It was like Tyler Smith and Chris Lofton. Like, I mean, everybody knows Chris Lofton, right? So it's all guys that can play, but they're like our age, so they're
Deron
old
Lamb
and
playing
stuff.
for us this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. Montrezl Harrell said he's coming back for Louisville. Willie Cauley-Stein is coming back for Kentucky. But I'm sure we'll get Nate Sestina back. That Kentucky Louisville game setting records for TBT, like legit changed the way they do shit. Like that was the biggest revenue, biggest viewership game. Like shit was wild. That was Final Four basketball in the summer.
It's no better. It's no better rivalry in college sports, and you can't change my mind.
Nope. I mean, you got what was the old boy who?
I don't agree with that.
What are you talking about?
You go see you and somebody?
No,
UNC
I'm
Duke?
not. Yeah, 100%.
Hell no.
And in football, it's Michigan, Ohio State. Like those are.
I give you football.
Basketball, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
Duke. So here's why, because you know that crazy stat, they've played however many games and they've scored like the exact same amount of points and all like that. That is insanity. I'm not trying to take. I'm not trying to take.
It's just,
I'm not taking anything from y'all. You definitely have a great rivalry, but I just think UNC Duke is the top one in basketball.
I don't think they truly hate each other.
You're crazy.
like
you are
Louisville and
crazy.
Kentucky hate each other. I just really don't. I just really don't. You can't convince me of that. I'm sorry.
I think that there's also like too many big schools in that same area that kind of pull from it. There's NC State and Wake Forest, and like you have Kentucky and Louisville, right? There's like you could go to WKU, you can go to EKU, you can go to Murray, you can go to Moorhead. You don't even cheer for those schools, right? You're cheering for either Kentucky or Louisville, right? It's but shit, even that that southeastern part of Indiana is cheering for Louisville or Kentucky. So
Kentuckiana, man. Yeah.
Yep. But all right, boys. Well, it was good. AB, I'll see you tomorrow for Tyson's birthday.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll be talking. As always, go Cats.